I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Well, good evening, everybody.
Hey, girl. Hey.
We have lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! At the table.
My.
Yeah. You're Are you the lion or the tiger or the bear?
Oh my! I'm the oh my.
You're the oh my.
Oh my.
Faye What? Oh, I say oh my
face here.
Faye What.
He's here again.
And Glenn from Smart Ride, Paul from Miami Beach Pride, and Dr. Tai Houser from Broward College.
Oh my gosh.
We're getting ready to tell the news. Lots of news today. I'm getting ready to learn all about ribbing. Tai, Dr.
Like it's
Houser.
new.
Yeah. Right.
I'm a doctor. I'll explain it.
Yes. Doctor.
I need visuals.
Right. Well, welcome to Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only LGBTQ plus daily evening news. It's time to queer up the news. It's 8 p.m. Wednesday, August 4th, and we are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ plus evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight with Al Ferguson.
Thank you for joining Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ plus evening news show. Whatever happens, you will see it. Queer News Tonight is supported by viewers like you. We are part of the Happening Out Television Network, Hotspots Magazine, and WMEG Events. Hotspots is celebrating 35 years of the LGBTQ plus experience. Merged, we bring you the best of LGBTQ plus news, entertainment, and support of our LGBTQ plus community.
This evening, we bring you the news of and a perspective representing the LGBTQ plus community from South Florida, America, and across our planet. I'm your anchor at Queer News Tonight, Al Ferguson. Let's welcome anchor Faye What? She's a radio and television personality and has the popular blog and YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and the G together. She's a hostess and an MC for many South Florida events, an animal advocate and owner of Faye's Fur Family, and is the anchor of the travel news show Happening Out Travel. Also, make sure to catch the Faye What Show Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Good evening, Faye.
Good evening, boys. I am one busy girl, huh?
You sound busy.
So let's welcome our other anchor, Glen Weinzimer. Glen is the founder of the Smart Ride, the largest AIDS bicycle ride in the country and the only one of its size to give back 100% of funds raised to AIDS service organizations. He also owns Bona Italian Restaurant. We went to go eat there the other day and it was delicious, where they celebrate Give Back Mondays, where a portion of all sales go to a different charity every week. Welcome, Glen.
Thank you, Faye. Let's welcome anchor Paul Thomas. He is currently the chairman of the LGBTQ Advisory Committee to the City of Miami Beach, a board member of Miami Beach Pride, a board of trustee member of the Point Foundation, and on the endorsement committee for SAVE. He has over 30 years of experience in the healthcare and education fields, specializing in HIV/AIDS treatment, as well as an activist advocate for marginalized communities. Locally, he works with many of our nonprofit and FQHCs, providing a wide range of services. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, and let's welcome anchor Dr. Tai Houser. He is an associate professor of English and Humanities at Broward College. Additionally, he teaches for extended periods of time at international colleges in China, India, Spain, and Bolivia. Good evening, Tai.
Cheers, queers. We are the reporters for Queers News Tonight, and this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast, and here are the bullet points of the queer news for Wednesday, August 4th.
Let's begin by queering up health. 2 popular Kansas City gay bars are going to require proof of vaccination. As of Tuesday, customers heading to Hamburger Mary's and Woody's, 2 LGBTQ plus bars along Broadway Boulevard in Kansas City's Midtown area, will require you to show proof of their COVID-19 vaccination. The bars defended their stances on Facebook, calling it a moral requirement to help keep their staff, guests, and families safe from the virus. They wrote, quote, "This is not a political decision. We do not apologize for our stance in this matter. If you want to come to our establishment, and more importantly, if you want to defeat this virus that has plagued us for the last 18 months, please get vaccinated," end quote. Customers wanting to enter the establishments must bring a photo ID and either their COVID-19 vaccination card, a photocopy of it, or a high-resolution picture of it on their phones.
I'm so glad that people are starting to do this, and one of the reasons that I say that is because I have had both the single jab Johnson & Johnson shot, and just on Monday I had my second Pfizer shot.
Great.
So I am more vaccinated than anyone in the world. Everyone says so. No one is more vaccinated than him. He is the most. Ask anyone, they will tell you vaccinated Tai is the most vaccinated vaccination in the world.
You have gotten pricked more than any other gay boy ever. I get it. I know. I took the words right out your mouth, didn't I?
I was so running to run with that prick thing, and thank you for taking that.
I'm sorry, did you call Tai a prick?
I would
Most
never.
pricks.
I would never. Look, I'm glad that both restaurants did this. This is this is a moral thing. This is not anything to do with politics, guys, and I hope that more people follow suit.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember when the drinking age went from 18 to 19 and then to 21, and everybody was all over, how dare the government do this? And I remember when all of a sudden they started seatbelt wearing. When I was a kid, you didn't have to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah.
It was like, how can they do this? But you know what? You understand that they're doing it for the safety of the public. They were doing it for the teenagers back then. They were doing it for our public safety with seatbelts. And they're doing it now for the same reason, right? For public safety. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with all of these conspiracy theories and the different things that are literally
It
killing
shouldn't be
people.
political.
It's not political.
Right.
Trump made all this crap political. It was
Absolutely.
supposed to be.
Right.
They want to have fun again. We were having fun again, guys. We were getting our freedom back.
Yeah.
And now those of us that did the right thing and got vaccinated, now we're all paying the price for the ones that didn't get vaccinated?
Yeah.
F you. No, I get to hang out at Hamburger Mary's and enjoy my burger and you don't.
Right.
I
agree.
I didn't hear a word you said.
You never do. You never do.
And the reason I didn't hear a word you
I was
said
listening.
is I was still thinking about Paul talking about when he was a kid, because I was thinking, did they even have cars when you were a kid?
I was thinking, Al, that maybe he's older than both of us.
There may be a chance. There may be a chance. You know what's interesting about this is I can't wait to see the first LGBTQ business here in South Florida that embraces this. Says you can't come into our bar, or you can't come into whatever, and DeSantis makes it political, because that's what's going to happen. And when that moment happens, then we should fall on the governor like a brick wall, because 99.5% of people that are vaccinated are not at risk, but everybody is running around like Chicken Little, and I understand it, but it's not the vaccinated that are so concerned. Ty's joke in terms of being the most vaccinated person on the planet is really not a joke, because you're protected. It's those that haven't. Those are the ones that really are causing all of the hazard for us in the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
Next, let's queer up business. Facebook is partnering with a notoriously anti-gay megachurch. Facebook has reportedly begun partnering with a megachurch with a notoriously anti-LGBTQ plus history. As the New York Times reports, ahead of the grand opening of its new Atlanta outpost, the Los Angeles-based Hillsong Church reached out to the social media giant to discover, quote, what the future of the church could be on Facebook, end quote, according to lead pastor Sam Collier. Given the challenges of holding in-person worship services during the COVID-19 pandemic, Hillsong allegedly reached out to the tech platform for advice on how to properly utilize its social networks. Facebook proposed that Hillsong be used as a test case for how religious entities can, quote, go farther on Facebook, end quote, according to Collier. The church's leadership soon began meeting with representatives from the company on a weekly basis, and when the Atlanta location opened its doors in June, Hillsong announced that services would stream exclusively on Facebook. So we invite the team at Facebook to join us every Sunday for the live broadcast at Sunshine Cathedral Sunday services and look into their new global fellowship. Because as usual, the LGBTQ plus community is always leading the way.
Amen.
Amen, indeed.
Sunshine Cathedral launched their Sunday service in Facebook in March of a year and a half ago. While I'm not a big fan of Hillsong, I do think it is a reasonable approach that churches find new ways to place themselves and put themselves in front of their congregates. So I don't object to that, even though it's not the friendliest of churches in America, unfortunately.
Maybe we should reach out to them and offer to help.
Yes.
Well,
Exactly.
I do have a question because Facebook is now more and more taking down information that's not true. They're taking down information that is considered bullying. They're taking down information that's hate speech. And so I'm wondering if they're going to fall under those same parameters. If they start preaching something that could harm people at home, are they going to take it down?
I happen to know this answer. The answer is yes.
Oh.
Sunshine has faced multiple situations in the last year.
Sunshine?
Where it works on both sides of the street. We don't like the Hillsong side of the street, but they don't like our side of the street either. And Sunshine has faced several issues where they've had to be very careful in redefining the way they say things, because Facebook is in full attack, probably rightly so in many respects, but Sunshine has had to refine their messaging to make sure that they're coming to the public and on the social media platform in a way that meets community standards. Whether you agree with community standards or not, you accept community standards in Facebook, and I happen to know that that has been the case. We will make sure and watch that Facebook does the exact same thing for the other side of the street.
I just wish they chose another church, guys.
Yeah,
Just any other church. Chris Pratt goes there. Justin Bieber goes there. They can really spread hate to even more people, and that really is disgusting.
But we've got a platform on Facebook, so I think there's that part of it that you have to balance with. They're giving them a voice because they're giving us a voice, and so I love the fact that Facebook is taking more ownership and is going in and saying you can't say this to Sunshine or anyone else.
Yes, exactly.
Because finally, instead of just letting everything go out there, they're actually saying, wait, before you say that, it may not be accurate, it might not be true.
Yes, that's
so
right.
maybe a little responsibility on their part is going to go a long
I
way.
agree with that. All right, well,
right, guys.
Glenn, we're up with you.
Up to me again. Well, good. Now we corrupt religion. Did we just talk about religion?
This is a different kind of
Are we repeating ourselves?
Never.
Okay, no, wait, this is good. Here's what Grindr is doing to figure out how a right-wing site outed a priest with app data. When The Pillar published an article claiming that a high-ranking priest was active on Grindr, the right-wing Catholic website claimed it was based on commercially available data. The Pillar didn't provide any details about the nature of the data or how they obtained and de-anonymized, or made it less anonymous is an easy way to say it, which led many security analysts to wonder how the feat was accomplished. Among those wondering, Jeff Bonforte, the CEO of Grindr. As he stated, thinking about how the Pillar did what it did, he started an investigation to replicate their results. Even in the earliest stages, it's clear that the work is a lot more complicated than people might have been led to believe. For one thing, Bonforte stresses, Grindr does not sell its data to anyone, thank God. Bonforte mentions 3 ways data could have been breached. From network providers, data brokers, who Grindr does not partner with, or ad networks, although those would not offer the specific data the Pillar offered. In essence, sorting through reams to data and stumbling upon Beryl is the tech equivalent of finding a single grain of sand on a miles-long beach. Finding and outing Beryl would certainly be in line with the Catholic Right's insistence on ridding the church of all gay priests and equating them with the pedophiles, as the pillar did.
Is there nothing sacred? Can a pastor get laid and that's it? Jeez, like,
I know,
my
really.
Lord, leave this guy alone. I know that's not the point of the story, but
No.
that's what I got from it. I'm like,
yeah.
let this guy live, you know?
Exactly. I mean, what was the amount of research that went in to try to find him? I mean, that's a lot of energy they could have used on other things. Like finding a date on Grindr.
Welcome to another episode of Days of Glen's Lives.
I know.
I think the illustration of a grain of sand on a mile of beach is really interesting here because if the pillar is really going to chase all of the gay priests in America or in the world, it's about that. They're going to have to find about another 50,000 grains of sand.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck to you, pillar. Right. So, Paul.
Oh, well, that was a lot to take in. Let's queer up gay culture. Study of Self by Paul McDonald, presented by Boys, Boys, Boys. The Little Black Gallery, Boys, 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 presents Study of Self by Paul McDonald through September 3rd, 2021. Exclusively online at boysboysboys.org. British photographer Paul McDonald is a socially engaged artist, educator, and curator based in Sydney, Australia, whose work explores masculinity and mental health. His Study of Self series explores masculinity, loss, and the artist's lived experiences through the presentation of archival work, portraiture, and landscape. Created over 10 years, Study of Self builds on a series he commenced while studying for his Masters of the Arts. After graduating, he decided to continue exploring these themes and complete the body of work. A book of the same name will be published in mid-August 2021, available from boysboysboys.org.
Let me begin by saying that boysboysboys.com will bring something completely different than these pictures, all right? So let's start there. So let's remind folks that it's boysboysboys.org.
Don't you love that the lesbian at the table points that out?
And
come on.
just so you know, those pictures are almost 10 years old, so they could be on Grindr.
Well, I like that it's
Actually,
it's
I
all
thought one of those pictures was Glenn's profile picture on Grindr.
I love that he's presenting lived experiences because there are a couple of those experiences that I would like to live
You
right
would like
into.
to live. God, we're full of jokes here today. You know, one of the really great things about this, and at Queer News Tonight, we embrace, really, this is a gay cultural experience in terms of doing this. There are so many calendars and books, photographers around the world. There are photographers that we've done many stories on in Russia that must do just for fans or only fans to show photography. In this instance, they're not pornographic, however you would find that. And even pornographic is completely fine, adult, visual, male exposed images. But in this instance, it's a cultural experience to be able to have male masculinity presented to us in many different ways. And so if you haven't been to boysboysboys.org, not com, but boysboysboys.org, you should go and check it out.
And on one serious note, the fact that they're talking about masculinity, loss, you know, there's a lot of guys my age, I'll bring that up again, who really never had a chance to talk about these things. We never really had a chance to heal from, so that there was a view of masculinity from when we were young. And we kind of had to force ourselves to be this person, and it's been a life journey. So I'm curious to see it myself on boysboysboys.org, not com, and to see what his journey was like and what his healing process has been like.
Absolutely
Great.
agree.
Okay, so let's queer up entertainment. A rim job scene in HBO Max's White Lotus has left viewers shook. White Lotus, HBO Max's latest drama, concluded their 4th episode with a salad-tossing scene that still has viewers shook. The series follows some wealthy vacationers as they visit a luxurious Hawaiian resort, but their flippancy and entitlement result in one of their tragic deaths. Jenner Coolidge, Murray Bartlett, Natasha Rothwell, Connie Britton, Andrea Daddario, Fred Hetchinger, Jake Lacey, Brittany O'Grady, Sydney Sweeney, and Steve Zahn star in the show. But all eyes are currently on Lucas Gage, who was on the receiving end of the butt play on Sunday's episode. The actor revealed that while it was written in the script that Armand and Dylan would get caught having sex, the two actors actually suggested the switch to a rim job. Gage said in an interview with the AV Club, quote, "We said, wouldn't it be more interesting if Dylan's getting his salad tossed? I mean, how often do we see that on TV? I think it's much more interesting and more jarring to walk in on." End quote.
Yeah, I'm curious. Anybody uncomfortable with this story? I mean, this is the first live LGBTQ news show in the world. Anybody uncomfortable with doing this story?
But love for everybody. Yeah, right?
I'm just a little, I actually started watching White Lotus and I was getting kind of bored. And after reading this tonight, I'm like, I better keep watching. It's getting more interesting.
Right.
Wait, they're suggesting of, wouldn't this be more interesting? Well, you got one more fan right here, right here.
I guess it's a Lotus salad, is that?
But bump.
Did you ever think that we would be in a situation where a news show would be reporting on sexually implied, because you're not going to see everything, but sexually implied moment like this, and that we would talk about it from the standpoint of how that presents for a broad community. It's not designed for the LGBTQ community. This is designed for broad.
Straight people do this too.
Yeah, exactly. It's more realistic.
But it crosses a line that we've never seen really crossed before.
That's what I'm
Right.
getting
There are
to.
things that are implied, and people do their thing, and TV's very generalizing in what sex is, and for them to even talk about tossing salad and rim jobs and stuff, I mean, that really it took me back. It didn't make me uncomfortable. It was just shocking to see it, and they accomplished their goal.
Yeah, they for sure accomplished their
And
goal.
I also added it to one of my must-see watches.
Yes. See, wait, White Lotus. Now you have a second new fan. Okay.
I think all 5 of us.
Yes,
Definitely.
exactly. All right.
Definitely. And we all know what you viewers are thinking about right now.
Yes, exactly.
So that is our queer headlines for today. So let's catch up on the LGBTQ plus news surrounding COVID-19 with our special segment called Quarantine Quickies.
Queer News Tonight has reported on coronavirus on every news broadcast since January 6, 2020.
Tonight we report that as of today, more than 2,543,000 LGBTQ plus Americans have contracted COVID-19.
Queer News Tonight remembers the more than 44,000 LGBTQ plus Americans that have died from coronavirus.
But the news is improving because as of today, more than 347 million vaccination doses have been administered in the United States.
That is our pandemic news for tonight. Next, we report on our partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. We are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine in supporting that partnership.
Happening Out Television Network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ plus religious live broadcast in the world, as more than 30,000 watch every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Watch this.
This is Mo Laredo, local law enforcement in South Florida, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
Finally, we thank Queer News Tonight's sponsor, Best Western I-95 Fort Lauderdale. This is the closest and best choice to the famous Wilton Drive, and our hosts and guests stay at this LGBTQ plus ally partner. We encourage you to stay here when visiting South Florida.
Well, finally, we finish tonight's queer news headlines with what we call LGBTQ plus flash news. LGBTQ flash news. Watch Billy Porter slay as Fab G in Cinderella's first trailer. We told you we were live. In an update to a story we've been following closely, Amazon Prime has just released a full-length trailer for their upcoming remake of Cinderella. In the previous teaser, we showed a moment of Billy Porter's debut as a gender-bending fairy godmother, and now we get to see even more of him. We also get to see more of the story featuring Camila Cabello, Indina Menzel, and hunky villagers dancing to Rhythm Nation, and a lot more. Now, let's watch this.
Dresses by Ella.
Here's a laugh. This girl fancies herself a businessman.
Cinderella. It's only my love for your father, rest his soul, that stands between you and a life on the street.
I have to make a life for myself. I'll sell one of my signature dresses. Soon everyone will love in it.
To make sure your nuptials are done properly, we shall hold a ball. You shall find a bride.
Somebody to love.
Cinderella, you don't need to go to the ball.
Please, stepmother, I spent weeks making this dress. My future depends on it.
Yes! I am your fabulous godmother. Do you want to go to that ball and meet a bunch of rich people who will change your life?
Yes, I was just crying and singing about it like 2 minutes ago.
Then go, you shall!
Oh, look at that. This is different. I didn't
Okay, Dad. You said you wanted to be a businesswoman. It's magic time.
Holy.
Where's my tail? I can't balance without my tail!
Here I go again. I'm imagining a world outside and about when I'm in.
Oh my God, it didn't happen. And even if it did happen...
Hi. Would you like to dance?
Right now. Where did you get that dress? I designed it.
I pick you to be my princess.
What about my work? I don't want a life stuck waving from a royal box any more than a life confined to a basement.
If it's a million to wait, I'm gonna be that one. And if it's
I have dreams that I have to chase.
I'm gonna be the sun, and I just can't afford.
Marry him and all of our problems will be solved. It's too late.
Life outside this basement starts right now.
The world's half asleep. It's gonna wake up and sing.
They're glass. Any way you can make them more comfortable?
No.
But you just did a whole thing.
Even magic has its limits.
I'm so excited! I predict a lot of fab G's this Halloween on Wilton Drive.
I want to wear the dress he's wearing because I just think he's fantastic, and the jewelry and everything. It's wonderful.
I think, it's supposed to be like a feminist retelling, but girl, that looks gay to me.
To me, it looks like Cinderella as it was originally intended.
Oh.
You know, it's going to be the #1 film that I want to see in this year, and there's going to be 11-year-old and 13-year-old boys that are going to watch this, and it's going to change everything. They're going to see this and go, "That's me." Awesome.
Hashtag that's me. LGBTQ plus flash news. This TV journalist came out and announced engagement to Weatherman. Houston television news journalist Stephen Romo delivered a double dose of pride and romance in a recent Instagram post where he came out as gay and revealed he was engaged to former Houston television meteorologist Stephen Morgan. The two TV heartthrobs both posted a pic showing off their engagement rings and the biggest of smiles. Romo wrote how he, quote, thought maybe this kind of love just wasn't in the cards for me, that it was a journey I'd never take, but now I'm the happiest I've ever been in my whole life, and I'll soon be moving to New York City with the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, end quote.
Oh. I would spend the rest of my life with either one of them.
Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they?
They're just beautiful, and it's a great story, and I love the background.
Yeah, so there's a high pressure front coming through and my barometer's rising.
There's nothing like the news.
Yeah, nothing. I have a friend that is a reporter here in South Florida, and you would think in the gayest place on planet Earth, you could be a reporter and openly gay, and he is not. He watches us every single day and has told me at least a half a dozen times, gosh, I wish I could do what y'all do every single day. I'm thinking of him right now.
Is he single? Okay.
The forecast calls for gay nuptials. Woohoo!
Okay, we're on to LGBTQ plus flash news. Candace Owens. All right, I haven't even gotten it out yet. Candace Owens rages over Muppets pushing trans agenda. Wants returned to manly Muppets.
Of course she does.
You may or may not be aware that a recent episode of Disney's Junior's animated show Muppet Babies featured a baby Gonzo becoming a princess. In the episode, Miss Piggy invites the other Muppets to a ball she is hosting. When Gonzo says they want to wear a dress, she pompously tells him that girls wear gowns and that the boys will come as knights. Kermit and his pals try to reassure Gonzo that being a knight is cool, but Gonzo is obviously dejected and walks away. Gonzo's friend, Rizzo, becomes a fairy rat father, I love that, and grants Gonzo's wish to become a princess for the ball, complete with gown and glass sneakers.
One of the things that she also tweeted was about how the East understands that culture needs manly men, and as we're indoctrinating everyone here in the States with Marxism, we're losing our manly men. May I remind her that the East is basically communist and ladyboys?
Right.
I didn't know that the Muppets had genders. I never saw them as gendered. They were like caricatures.
Yeah.
They weren't. I'm wondering why she took this so personal.
Well, and I'm going to answer your question. Good for you, Muppets, and good for you, Disney, behind this. Every story that we have done since Queer News Tonight has begun that included the name Candace Owen, every single time we do it, I think of two other words: oxymoron.
It's the best that Gonzo has ever looked. Shut up, Candace. You're perverted.
100% agree. It's a great show, and I love that they're opening that up to kids to feel they can be who they need to be.
Yeah.
So that is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show. Is our community important to you?
Then help us by liking and subscribing. Ring the bell for updates. Share this news with your friends and family.
Post this broadcast in the many groups you are a member of. Tonight's stories about our community deserve the attention of your family and friends.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television news in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support.
If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Happening Out Television Network and Queer News Tonight. I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson, and on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Faye Watt and Glen Weinzimer, Paul Thomas, and Dr. Tai Houser, we will see you daily at 8 p.m. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the